Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm the Lone Ranger. Now, this is Albert Campbell. We're here to talk sports. Obviously, you've taken every precaution for the pandemic. Also, before we start, we want to mention our producer, Greg, was out and about, and one of our fans mentioned that our pick, Clemson, didn't last very long.
I love it. You understand? We get excited.
Yeah, we want you to like it.
Because both of us live in Pennsylvania. And when we get over to Ohio, we're never sure, George, about our fan base. And anytime we hear any results, positive or negative, it makes our day. Greg saw him at the summer concert, things he does, and we want to shoot a thank you to that fan.
And by the way, don't think they won't be number one when it's all over. Be careful. That loss to Georgia. Georgia is loaded and didn't score a touchdown on their defense. Yeah, don't mark them off yet.
Yeah, George and I checked that one off on our thoughts. They might have lost now.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised at the end of the year that Clemson and Georgia meet again.
Because they're in the ACC. They're not in the SEC. Their toughest game is North Carolina.
Yes.
So keep that in mind.
We do appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Springfield local. We dealt with Bo Brunger before. Going to the YSU.
That's a great get. I saw his dad.
See, this is what we need. This is what the Penguins need.
Yes, that local player who's a big-time player.
A big-time local, not local.
Yeah, I saw his dad, Mark play.
Okay.
His dad was a really good quarterback at YSU. He announced it early. This is a chance to build on this and get other local players that want to follow Bo into the realm. That's one of the things that we always go back to Coach Tressel. That he would sign a local player and tell that local player, listen, start rounding up as many local players as you can who are making decisions on Toledo and Youngstown. Or just tell them we're going to win this national championship here. Make the choice to come to YSU. Let's hope that happens.
Let's talk about that. We've discussed this in previous shows, but not in a lot of detail. We've talked about it on the radio a little bit. The tough job when you're the YSU coach. Everybody wants their nephew to play there, but then they want you to beat North Dakota State, South Dakota State, and Northern Iowa. Now, the problem is we're not saying good get because he's local. We're saying good get because he's terrific and he's local. Yeah, that's the problem.
Boy, is that a great line. They've had some local players they've got that people have really raved to us about. We weren't so sure about. We thought they were really good players. This one, we're positive he's a great player. When you come into this league, Northern Iowa lost Iowa State by 6. Mm-hmm. North Dakota was ahead at Utah State at halftime. North Dakota State, always great. South Dakota State goes in and pummels. Colorado State.
Pummels. Beat them way worse than Vanderbilt ever dreamed of beating.
Yes. So you cannot win with average players in this league. We're not talking about the rest of the league's loaded too. These teams all get transfers in. I'm hoping the Coach Phillips decides to use that portal big time and get as many players as he can at YSU. And then mix them with the local kids that are great. And now all of a sudden YSU's playing for the playoffs again. But if not, you're not winning, George, unless you get these kind of players.
Now, Pitt recruits out Whippeal, and they're fine against Maine and Mass and some of these other teams.
They win 7, 8 games a year, right?
Yeah, but when you come up against the Clemsons, the Notre Dames, who recruit nationally, that's the key. It's their recruiting base. It's not where the school is and all that nonsense. It's a recruiting base. And I'll tell you what, this league YSU's in, good luck to Coach Phillips, because I cannot believe how tough that league is.
And we have major themes we talk about all the time, one of which is kids are very good players. Don't think they aren't parents. Your kid's a really good player. But YSU, you have to be a great player. There's not a lot of great players. There are some. Before, when Tressel was here, Coach Tressel, he could go out and get 10 outstanding
What Mooney
players.
and Ursuline have, 5 or 6
each.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. So it's changed. The Ursuline has a nice team this year. I get that. But it used to be a runner, draw a circle 200 miles. Yeah. And you go get 15 players.
Didn't he call it the state of Youngstown or something like that?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the Penguins this year. Score's not bad, 42-14.
I don't think it's bad at all.
No.
Because I'll tell you what,
I told him, listen, I'm watching. First week, I'm watching, and I see him. Michigan. They're not supposed to be any good. Okay. I'm listening to a radio program this summer. They're talking with the coach. Brought this guy in. Brought that guy in. Whatever. So I'm looking. They're playing Northwestern, and the line went from 6.5 to 3.5.
Playing at Northwestern.
At
too.
Northwestern.
Yes.
I said, I think they're a sleeper. They beat Northwestern up and down and sideways in that field to the point where it wasn't even a ball game.
Right.
And this team is excellent. This is not a bad deal. But here, you take your $750,000. If you don't get any injuries, it's a win-win.
Yeah, that $750,000 makes that a worthwhile game for YSU. And then when you play them to a 28-point loss, now you're saying to your team, look, we're getting better. We're getting ready for this league. They have a week off, George, to look at the film, decide what on personnel, where they want to make some changes, any X and O's they need to change. I look for them to come out against Western Illinois and really play a great game. I'm hoping Coach Phillips and the staff are ready for that kickoff.
What do you think of a week off this early? Like, don't
Perfect
like?
timing for Michigan after Michigan State.
Because you might have got beat up a
They
little
didn't
bit.
get beat up. You don't play Michigan
Those
State.
bigger dudes, a little faster, a little stronger, hit a little harder.
Yep, you
Get
get
to that
beat up.
spot a half a second quicker and deliver.
No doubt.
Okay.
By a long shot. You're getting whooped on for 4 quarters by a Big Ten team. You need a week off.
That's interesting. Let's start about the boys that get paid here. NFL Week 1. My goodness. Does anyone market their product?
Yes, you're right.
Pepsi, Coke, Chevrolet, Walmart, Amazon. The NFL's right at the top.
And the fans.
They were hungry. They hadn't been there in a year.
Right.
So they're like delirious. I pray for this COVID because these people were charging these people were charging the field at Brigham Young, charging the field, pretty much anywhere there's an upset. I'm hoping people don't spread this thing because if I have another winter like last winter where I can't see a ball game, and I'm mouthing Hank Voight lines because I've watched Chicago PD so much. Put a ping on the phone. I'm ready for it, And
I will tell you, fans, right now, it's real because when my sister-in-law has it right now, it hasn't been out of bed for a week and a half. So it's as real as it gets.
I send you stuff all the time.
It's there again, and I want it to be as normal as possible with the thought of doing it right. But the NFL, with the fans there, the fans on the TVs.
Let's talk about 9/12 too. It was the day after. The colleges really paid tribute to 9/11. And I thought it was outstanding. The pros did something in their own way, the same idea. Let's talk about fans for the first time, 70, 80, whatever the place would filled to the brim because they missed last year. But here's something about the NFL just to share with our viewers. The average value of a team last year went up 15% in Forbes magazine despite having no fans. So can you imagine what this year's going to do?
That's why you see the new Los Angeles Stadium.
Oh.
That's why you see the owners very seldom put it up for sale.
That's Walmart money.
Yes.
The Kroenke, that's Walmart.
That's Walmart.
Yeah,
he might make a little money at Walmart.
Yeah. They asked him, they said, you need $500 million he wrote a check. They said he was going to borrow it, but he really didn't have to.
I know, it's pretty
So
bad.
think about it. Let's talk about it a little bit, though. The Browns. Man, I'll put that game on it. They were giving Kansas City a whooping. I'm sitting there thinking, man, they said they'd be good, but this is run this way, run that way, hit this pass, hit that pass. Baker goes back, hands off. I'm looking, I'm thinking, these dudes are for real, buddy. And they still are.
They really
but
are.
that game was winnable.
Yeah, but they really are. You go to Kansas City and play them there. That's one of the toughest places to play anywhere. Yeah, the Browns they're having a sensational year. They'll be one of the top 6 teams in football. I saw them play Kansas City off their feet for 3 quarters, and Kansas City got them.
Hey, let's talk about it.
They're really good.
You always say this, and a lot of times I re-mention it to somebody on another, on a phone or something, but I want to give you your propers for this. When people always say, how so-and-so, whether it be Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Browns, Bears, what they're really saying is how's your offense. Mm-hmm. But they're forgetting defense and that third side yesterday.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh wins because of a block punt. Browns lose because they can't get one off.
Right.
Talk about special teams.
Yeah, the game of football, if you're a good football coach or an outstanding coach, you coach 3 phases, everyone equally. And fans all want to watch the ball. They want to see the ball. They want to see the offense. Mm-hmm. One of the things I was very impressed with the Browns and Steelers, both of them get pass rushes. So if you get a pass rush, you'll be successful in the NFL. And then you add, as George said, a special teams touchdown. That adds like 30 points to your team.
Yeah, but he didn't lay out. He kicked it into his.
They had a great rush.
I mean, there was no.
They had a great
he
rush.
was going down if he didn't try
They
to
had
kick.
a great rush. It was awesome.
I mean, and the guy didn't even have to lay out. He just kicked it right into his chest.
have to, yeah.
Now, the Browns messed up the snap.
Mhm.
You have to focus, boys, because there's about.
Because the NFL's really equal. Look at the scores from yesterday.
Yeah. Look late.
There's not a lot of 40, 51, 10s.
No.
I mean, even Detroit came back into the game. You know, they're at halftime of games. You think, wonder who's winning.
Let's talk about that at halftime, too. Yesterday, I'm sitting outside a little bit listening to the Steeler game. First off, I like to listen. They had 50 yards. I'm thinking to myself, this reminds me of the old baseball games you and I talk about. Guys on base every inning, and we
That's what happened to Buffalo.
and we don't score. Mm-hmm. I thought Buffalo should have been ahead about 17-0, 17, and I thought to myself, I hope I'm not wishing this, but I have a feeling they're going to wish they scored second half was like they changed teams or something.
Well, one of the things that stayed the same, though, was Pittsburgh's defense dominated
Oh,
the
defense
four quarters.
was, no.
Do you understand that? Once again, they were doing the Pittsburgh offense.
Terrific defense.
Pittsburgh defense set the tone immediately. When a team returns a kickoff to your other 20 and they put you 3 and out. I mean, that set the tone for the game. That tells you right there Pittsburgh's defense played
So
outstanding.
I think if you just moved the Browns up and Baltimore struggling with all those running back injuries, but don't forget that quarterback can run the ball.
Oh, no. Baltimore has that is the least. That's the position they worry about least.
Just bring somebody in.
There's running backs.
That's
Elijah Mitchell stayed. The San Fran's guy goes down.
Yeah.
We watched him play.
And they brought Le'Veon Bell in. I'm sorry, but I think that man can run the ball.
Murray can run the ball too.
Hey, I got to ask you, when you look at that, you see all these teams. This came across my head. It's just they have 13 guys on the injured reserve, the Ravens. Think they're hitting in practice or something, or this is just freak?
No, I read about it. Freak as can be.
Okay.
Yep, they're not hitting it. They're not hitting their.
All right.
The rules are in place that they
And
cannot
they're
do
not
it.
dressed.
Yep.
to hit.
They can't do
Okay.
it. They said they have good grass.
Okay.
They said the same thing happened to San Francisco last year. It was one of those teams.
Oh, and remember they were blaming. They came to play the Jets and Giants. They tried to blame the field. All right, I'm going to go with that. I'll take now the surprise of the day. Much to my chagrin, Arizona Cardinals came in. They didn't just beat Tennessee. They put them in the timeout. They whooped them. Now, 5 sacks. I've been watching football.
One guy, yeah.
I've been watching football.
I think it was Jones that had the 5 sacks.
Chandler Jones. I've been watching football for probably 60 years. You're pretty close. I never saw a guy with 5 sacks.
He had 3 in the first quarter.
He's just throwing that. Block them.
Yeah, they should have tried some double teaming, but more importantly is the Tennessee defense.
Oh.
You know, that's see, we expect Tennessee to score.
Yeah,
we do.
Yes.
But if they don't shore up their defense, it doesn't make it.
And then also, when they get behind, they can't run the bull.
Yeah, that's what they want to do.
They want to run the bull back there, and they can't run them.
Yeah, that's what they want to do.
All right, that was surprise of the day. Would you agree?
Yeah, the score, the line was close, so I can't say
it was 3-point line.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was.
That's
10
home
points.
field. So you're saying basically
It wasn't a major upset.
the width.
Yes, but the score, the width of the score does.
Okay, let me ask you about this one. Cincinnati in overtime. Minnesota's got the ball. Cincinnati side of the 50. Going to run a couple
Turnovers.
plays. Closest fumble I've ever seen
Turnovers.
to where the guy's rear end was on the ground, but you couldn't see that it was. It was one of those where they didn't have an angle,
Right.
couldn't overturn it because the old timer on the field said Cincinnati
That
ball.
call on the field means a lot because if you can't tell,
They didn't change
you're not going to change it.
Didn't
But the
change
team that should have won the game should have won the game.
Yeah, they were way ahead.
21-7.
Hey, talk about that coach. He'd have had to
Bad choice.
apologize.
I was because I had Cincinnati. I was really upset. 21-7 lead.
Things going your way.
Everything's your way.
Yeah.
Everything.
Home crowd.
Crowd's
everything.
crazy.
Yeah.
4th and 1 from your own 30.
No.
And he goes for it. Doesn't make it. The game changed around on one play. In the game.
Absolutely. And then how about this? It was the first time ever the game was tied with 0-0 and won with 0-0.
How about
Overtime. They only played 10 minutes, people. A lot of people don't know because they don't see it often.
Right.
They only played 10 minutes. So if it's tied at 10 minutes, it's a tie.
Get right down to the last play, right?
And man, when he threw that ball on 4th and 1, he got more nerve than I do.
Yeah, that part I don't question as much as what he did before. I mean, because if you're down 21-7 and go for it, I don't care. That's fine. Not when you're ahead 21-7.
You make them draw the field.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay.
Because they weren't. They only had 7 points.
Here's a team I'm looking at. I've been looking at them for years. Now remember, I just from 3,000 miles away. And I've always thought the right coach, the Chargers are good right now. I don't know that they have one, but they went into a tough place, beat a good defensive team. Now Washington, once again, if you're putting your eggs in the basket of Fitzy, he's an old man. He's done for 6 weeks. I think they are ruining the day. They didn't grab one of these QBs or make a trade.
You know, they saw Heineke play last year, though. They were really excited about having
he's
him.
Duck Hodges to me.
Yeah, that's what they were excited about.
What's he say to you?
He's better than Doc.
Okay.
But we'll find out how good he is. It's hard to win in the NFL.
You know they play Thursday night too, don't you?
Yeah, the Giants,
they have no time for. They have no time to.
But what the Chargers did in that game, I know it's not just going to make you laugh. They made a couple field goals, and all the coaches.
Oh, that guy.
All the coaches would have won some games in Chargers. They always
wide right
missed kicks and lost games.
Yeah.
This is a typical Charger game.
Yeah.
Always close, always right down to the end.
Yes, sir.
This time they pulled it out. They do have some good players on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they do. No, they're going to be. Denver goes in. Now, here's the thing. The Denver OC is the old Giant head coach. So, he's got a little extra kick in his step this week. They went in there, ran the ball down their throat, threw it when they have to, dominated time of possession, and whooped the Giants in New York. A lot of times these teams coming east struggle.
Turnovers. No question about it. Giants turn the ball over in Denver territory 2 or 3 times.
Can't do it.
You can't do that. You have to hold on to the football. Special teams mentioned today, turnovers. Those two things they'll change games instantly.
And I want to mention 2 guys here because I have thoughts on them I know that are different than the football world. Teddy Bridgewater and Tyrod Taylor. Now, is either guy John Elway? No. Can you win a game or 2 with either one?
I think so, too.
Absolutely. You agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
Now, the biggest overlay all day, here's my thought on this. Never played a game. Rookies, quarterback. Just the whole newness of it. A college coach, like it or not, he's a college coach. Favored on the road. I was shocked when I don't know much, but I thought that was bad. And it ended up being right.
And the biggest play of the day was Jackson around the country. How about that? George went up thing.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's a moto. It's
because
and who was Mad Dog's suicide pick? Jacksonville. He's out for the year.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. You should have known him to lose.
But Houston, on paper,
supposed to be no good.
They're supposed to be the most pathetic team coming to this league, and it was never a game. They dominated the game.
You think Urban Meyer can take?
He's not going to make it.
You agree too?
Oh,
He's never lost.
I read enough. The players are already.
Yeah, I had heard that.
Of them.
I had heard that.
The coaches are tired of
He's
him.
not gonna
See, as a pro, you play 17 games.
Yeah.
You cannot let emotions. He's been emotional from the day he got in there.
See, if you throw the buffet table over in baseball in May 1st,
you're done.
What do you do in August?
Yeah, you can't.
And this is what's happening
And that's
to him.
what he did in
He's
preseason.
already disheveled.
What do we say about preseason games, George?
They don't.
He is screaming at his players and his coaches. He wanted to win preseason games. Don't you think the players were looking at him thinking, "This is"?
No, you know what they're calling him behind his back? Joe College.
Yeah, I am too.
That's what they're calling him behind his back.
So he's not going to last with his emotions and his health, and he can't handle losing anyway. I don't think there's any chance for him.
That's like that Day guy the other. We're going to talk about that in about a minute. He's on the podium and he's talking, and I see that he never lost before.
Never.
This dude here never lost. Not often.
No, Urban didn't lose too often.
No, so one last item we have to talk about. Time to jump on somebody when they're down. I have no trouble doing it. Not to this guy. Not to this guy, Rogers.
Yeah, his
discount double check.
His makeup really is a sad makeup for me to be one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. He just cannot get through bad times. He constantly quits on his team with his body. What's that called?
Body language.
Body language.
Oh,
with his body language.
You nailed it.
His body.
We didn't discuss it.
His body language is just atrocious.
Oh.
And he just happens to make up for it because he's always great. Well, when he's lousy, then it doubles up.
32 passer rating.
Jeez, he was so bad.
Then he goes over to that bench. You know, obviously he couldn't say good luck to this kid coming in. It would be.
Right, he doesn't like him, yes.
No. So basically, he wants to let everyone know how disgusted he is with the coach. How about that poor coach? He's going to get fired because of him.
Yeah, that's happening, I know.
They're saying, the guy said yesterday, they're the most ill-prepared team. I said they were 13-3 last year and had the finals in their park.
Yeah.
They weren't that ill-prepared.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't. I'm
He
also,
played bad.
I'm also one guy, yes. One guy to say one game means zero
Yeah,
to me.
and he played bad.
If you're going by one game,
No.
then I remember the year New England lost to Buffalo 31-0.
Do you remember what happened there? There's a funny story about
And they
that.
won the Super Bowl.
They cut Lawyer Tillman the week before, and he went to play for Buffalo.
Is that what happened?
And they won 31-0.
How about that?
And then New England went to the Super Bowl. It's 20
That's what I'm saying. So don't go by one
No,
game.
no, I don't go by one.
Yeah.
No, don't I
People
know?
do
Don't
that.
go by one.
Yeah.
Hey, NCAA football, Buckeyes.
Don't
I have
go by
to
one
say
game
it.
again.
We have to say it. You know, Al called it. Al liked Oregon. I wonder what he's talking about. I thought the Buckeyes. You know, all these pro receivers and all these 5 stars and all these 24/7
They have
All-Americans and everything. They got whooped.
Defensively, they're just not any good. And if you're not any good against Oregon defensively, they're going to hold the ball. They're going to run the ball down your throat. And the game went exactly as I thought it was. They could knock it off the field defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon's offensive line is better than Minnesota's. And Minnesota ran it down their throat.
Yeah, till Ibrahim got hit. That was a
Minnesota's running
hurt.
the ball down, they were running the ball down their throat, too.
No,
And
you
Oregon
called
it was not a surprise to me, boys. I hate to tell you that it was not a shock to me that Oregon won that game. But really, I think Ohio State can lose again. I think they're that bad defensively.
Did they play Iowa?
I don't know who's on their schedule.
That's the major championship if they do. The only thing you say about Ohio State, you have to give them their kudos. It's Oregon's first win ever. I mean, you know, it's not like it happens every day.
Doesn't happen all the
I wouldn't want to be a practice day either, by the way. Penn State cruises. See, here's one. Here's one I thought. I looked and I saw the schedule. I saw the sandwich. Ball State in between
You're
Wisconsin
saying that
and
over and
Auburn.
over, yes.
Then I watched Ball State didn't play well the first game, which gave me the heebie-jeebies. And then I watched just enough of that game. It was 14-0 before Ball State realized, geez, we're in Nittany Valley. There's 100,000 people here, and they're all nuts. But let me tell you, there was a play in that game. You'll love this because you know what I'm talking about. Guy goes back for ball. He rolls, and he throws the ball into the flat. This guy for Penn State jumps up with one hand, left,
what they got.
pulls it down, and then he runs in like Lydell Mitchell.
That's what they
And
have.
I said, he's made that pass in the MAC 35 times,
Right.
and nobody got it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the difference in the count. And you know, as you always say, Penn State has put a lot of athletes on defense. They don't put everyone at running back that can run.
Right, yeah. So that's not a surprise to me.
No.
The Big Ten has players all over the field does that. I mean, in the MAC has a couple. But all Penn State players are 5-4 stars. All of them. They don't have any 2 stars.
No, they don't recruit.
Not a thought.
So we've talked Ohio State, we've talked Penn State, Pitt real quick. Nice road win at Tennessee. See, I'm listening to the SEC channel, and they're bemoaning the fact that Pitt beat them. Like they lost to Podunk. And 2 things. One, Pitt's pretty good, front 7 on defense. And secondly, it's a nice win for Pitt on the road.
Yeah, they have a good team. They were favored. They weren't underdogs.
They were favored by 3.
Yeah, I just said look at the line. Now, Vegas doesn't make any mistakes. They were favored, and they have an outstanding quarterback. When you have a good defense and an outstanding quarterback, you have a chance to
Hey,
win
can he
games.
throw and a run?
He can do anything.
You know who he reminds me
He's a
of?
really good player.
You know you're going to laugh. You know he reminds me of a lot? Baker Mayfield. Because they both run to buy time. They don't run to run.
No, they don't run to
and
run.
they can throw the ball in the run.
They can. He can. He's a very good player.
Quick story for you people. My buddy's an NFL agent. He went in to see him, and Lee Steinberg was already in, so the word's out.
Yeah, Pickett is really good. No
Yeah, that's all you need to know. The other guys had some cupcakes. Bama cupcake, Auburn cupcake, Clemson cupcake. I get it. Notre Dame lucky to win. Tough MAC team, Toledo. We knew it would be high scoring. We knew it would be very, very tough. Now, the Notre Dame fans were upset, and I don't blame them. Al calls me the other day. He says, what channel Notre Dame on? They're not on NBC. I said, Albert, they're on Peacock. Streaming.
I called George. This is the first time
Wait,
in
it gets
my
worse.
lifetime.
But wait, it gets worse. I got Peacock. It's a pay on Peacock.
You had to pay it.
Oh, I ain't paying to watch it.
You had to pay.
I'll put the Maluch on them
You
now.
think, you think that's coming?
No, it's here. It was
They're
there.
coming for all games.
No, because the contract's so big.
Okay,
But just
good.
the
Okay,
same,
good. I'm glad to hear
their
that.
fans, the Notre Dame fans, should be
I'm glad to
very
hear that, George.
upset.
I'm worried about that.
Very upset. And then Michigan crushed Washington so much. Alan, I thought
That was our worst pick in 5 years.
No, we haven't made one this bad
That
since
was the
I had
worst
hair
pick
on
of
my
mine.
head.
Yeah, that was the
No,
worst.
no. And then Southern Cal, see, I'm looking, I saw the first week, man, they got beat a good San Jose team. Stanford, I'm looking, Kansas State took them to the woodshed.
Took a little woodshed. Cannot tell
Well, I'm
college
thinking
football.
17 points. I
cannot
said,
tell.
they'll beat them by 50. They must have changed quarterbacks and got some vitamins because I turned the score on. I thought it was backwards.
Right. You cannot tell.
They
after
whooped
week one.
them.
I tell Judge all the time.
Don't one game.
After week one,
No.
you're not sure. Even after week two, which team is good? Stanford or the other? I have no idea.
Is Clay Helton fired?
Yes.
Yeah. In other words,
I don't think he's going to make it through the year if he loses again.
Okay.
I think he'll get rid of
He's
him
so
in the middle of the year.
tormented. I felt bad for him. Now, let me just, this is from me, not else. Worst team I've seen in years.
Wow.
Colorado State. Bench press. Coach Bench Press, remember from Boston
That's
College?
saying you something.
Albert, Vandy's awful and beat them at home. They play Iowa in 2 weeks. I'm afraid for them.
Wow. That's something State making that.
Yeah, I said that's how bad they were. Florida State beaten by an FCS team. By the way, that's Jacksonville, Alabama, not Jacksonville, Florida, for you guys that care about such things. And the Big 12, they did the hula hop. They grabbed the 4 teams they wanted. Central Florida, a great team. Cincy, one of the top 10 in the country. They did well. Houston, with all the eyeballs. And BYU, who has a national flavor.
Yeah, they went out and studied who they wanted, that's for sure.
It wasn't accidental then.
No, the one team that helped them a lot is Cincinnati because they're playing much better than they used to be. Like Central Florida is easy because they're the largest school in the country.
Yep.
Houston,
Eyeballs.
fourth biggest city, right?
Eyeballs, eyeballs.
BYU, the Mormons all around the country.
Absolutely.
But Cincinnati's made them part of this because they're
Hey,
winning.
check out this BYU quarterback for me, please. Just watch when he gets outside the pocket.
He can move, huh?
Oh, my Lord. Okay, Major League Baseball. Only got a couple minutes. Here's all I'll say. I've got the Giants, and the Dodgers won't. Thank God the Giants got 7. The Dodgers won't lose.
No, it's the other way around, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No, the
Giants
are
don't
unbelievable.
lose.
Giants
No.
are unbelievable. And why I say they're unbelievable, all the offseason they tried to get rid of Crawford,
Yeah.
Bell, and Posey. They offered everything and
They want-
everything.
they want to start
because
over.
They wanted to start over.
Yeah.
These 3 have their best years ever.
Ever.
And their young kids come to it once. When all 8 players are playing good at once. It's nobody's talking about it.
No, it's-
San Francisco was
it's the
supposed
story.
to be lousy.
It's the story.
And they win. They're going to win 110 games.
Well, they're going to have to.
It's amazing.
Now, listen, I got the tiebreaker. So I figure I'm 4 up with 18 left.
Well, that's what you're thinking from your.
Oh, that's all I care
I'm
about.
talking about the fan.
Oh, no. I just want them to win.
This is unbelievable. What
I
they're
know.
doing. And
I know.
you look at their players; they were all has-beens.
Yeah.
They picked up Gosman.
And Yashevsky's not hitting.
You know, it's amazing what they're doing with their
Absolutely.
staff.
Hey, 30 seconds left. St. Louis Cardinals. Aren't they one game back in the wild
They're there
card?
again. Oh,
And I watch them play Pittsburgh, and I'm like, they're no better.
both wild cards.
Absolutely.
Both wild cards. You talk about Major League Baseball
Absolutely.
being excited.
Absolutely.
But all 5 in the National League.
Yep.
4 in the American
Going to
League.
the
All
end.
going down. The
Hey,
league.
last thing. The Mannings are going to talk over the MNF game, Monday Night Football.
Tonight?
I think you're going to see numbers that you've never seen before.
Like the Mannings, huh?
Since, like, MASH.
Is that a different station they're on? Or what?
They're on ESPN 2. Okay. Hey, thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.